Welcome to Treasure Circle. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and enjoy the video. And I'm out.
Welcome to Testimony Wednesday. My Auntie Valeria is about to share her story. Auntie Valeria!
Hi everyone, I'm Valeria. I am Trejure's aunt. And Trejure was, I was very fortunate to have Trejure ask me to give my testimony. And so here it goes. I grew up in church, so as far back as I can remember, I was in church, really involved in church, going to, youth service, had friends in church. So most of my memories of my childhood are surrounded with church. But when I went off to college, I essentially walked away from church. I always knew and still believed in God. But when I was a kid, I was affiliated with church. And the difference is I did not have a relationship with Christ of my own. I went to church because my mom went to church and my friends were at church. But very soon after being away from home and being in college and experiencing that distance, God was so gracious that even though I felt an affiliation with Him, He loved me intimately and continued to chase after me, even when I was at a distance from Him. And so for a long time after graduating from college, I felt tangibly away from Him, and I didn't like it. And I fought it, and I fought it. And I would be considered like the good kid, like a square, went to school, obeyed my parents, pretty much made safe decisions most of my life. But I recognized that even me being without Christ, my soul was in jeopardy of spending eternity away from Him. And so it really didn't matter that I was the good kid. I was still a sinner. And once I started feeling that void in my life, I kind of made a very drastic life decision that immediately, like that, I no longer wanted to be away from Him. And so in the course of this, got married and moved home and pretty aggressively, sought after Christ. And I can tell you there's one thing that has resonated over my life with Christ is His faithfulness. He has been so faithful to me, my family. I have 3 beautiful kids, a wonderful husband, and I've experienced challenges and loss, and we all have. But one thing that I know true is I know that I'm standing here or sitting here in front of you is that God is faithful, and He promises never to leave us. He promises to be with us, to walk with us, to give us peace and to give us joy, even in those moments when you feel like you cannot go on, you're so extremely disappointed, your heart is broken. And I said I wasn't going to cry, but talking about the goodness of God makes me emotional because He's just so good. And I would be remiss if I didn't share how good He is and has been and continues to be to me. And so if I can just plant one seed through this video, I feel like I have done what was asked of me of Christ, is to tell my testimony, to share the good news of Christ. And the good news is that He is faithful, people, and He loves you, and He wants you to know Him, and He won't ever stop. So with that, I will say thank you for taking the time to listening to me. Thank you, Trejure, for asking me to share my story, a little bit of my story. There's a lot more, but I realize to respect time, I try to be as succinct as possible. But Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me, and God bless. And hopefully I will talk to you soon.
Subscribe and like that like button.